Hunter saves it. Hunter here on the Garner. It's Hunter Hughes!
Turn 4 for the final time. Checkered flag out. Bluegrass 150 goes to Ian Miller.
And welcome, podcast guys. As always, I'm your host, Nick Zammit.
Good, get the name out there. It's like, hey, Joseph Newgarden, you're the guy with the sperm commercial. Yeah.
Another Tuesday night and another round of the Indy Racing World Series. Tonight it's round number 7 and 100 laps around Sin City here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Sin City 150. Here's how they'll line up quickly here. Has just one pace lap to get us started. Jacob Barker on pole position will be alongside Matthew Faust. DJ Fluck, Ian Miller make up your second row with Eric Mattingly and Eric Richardson making an all-Eric third row. David Kruger and Derek Booker rounding out your top 8. Bill Molefield, Colton Gardner returning with Michael Deitch at the back of the field with no qualifying lap. Again, 100 laps here of what is hopefully green flag racing. If that's the case here, we'll go for fuel exactly at half with the fuel window about lap 47 to 51. That'll make it a solid one-stopper again if we stay green. Eric Richardson, Josh Chinsky, Lucas Puntaralli, all defending winners here. Only 2 of which in the field tonight. Could this be a night we potentially have a newcomer? Jacob Barker been hunting for victory all season long. This could be the night that changes. You could say the same for Matthew Faust. Unlucky after Long Beach. A lot of guys looking for victories here. Are we going to see a new name on top? Let's find out. Let's go racing in Vegas. Try the inside here to try and make it. Faust got Eric Mattingly in the contention early on as well. And in terms of the real life environment, we are picking up right where we left off here in Vegas in 2011. Short track, around 1.5 miles. But racing like a Texas Motor Speedway, this absolutely is not. Stay in the draft. And you absolutely have a shot of going for the win. Look how close that was, though, to Kansas a couple nights ago. You know that guys want to make moves early to get the sharp end of the field. Once you start seeing the guy in front, in this case Jacob Barker, building that gap, people get more and more ambitious, shall we say, in trying to make moves and trying to stay within conversation. That's how, unfortunately, Derek Booker, as well as Matthew Faust, got out of contention just a couple weeks ago. Michael Deitch, now the fastest, has already made moves. He's worked from P11 up into P5. And new colors for him has moved over from the New York Mets livery to the YMCA, which is understandable when you're repping a team that's on a 11-game losing streak. Number 5, Barker's led all of them. Ian Miller's looking to change that. Your Long Beach winner looking to the outside. Trying to carry enough momentum, ripping the top. This is way too close. Bumper to bumper, side pod to side pod, out of 4. And Miller continues to hang on. Has the nose ahead. He'll technically get the lap. But he's going to back out of it. Nice is Booker. He is off throttle. He lets him slot in and now immediately swings it high once again to try. Not fully clear just yet. It is paper thin between the two of these guys, and we are not even double digit in the lap count. Booker's hungry though. He's still looking for victory in 2026. And he knows that there is at least 7 cars still in contention behind him. Great shot here of just how bunched up everybody is. That's pretty much back. 26, Eric Richardson, still in contention. And you'd probably imagine a lot of lift and coast going on behind Barker right now. How much of caution, or even just running long in fuel. Good save you. David Kruger now fastest. No podium yet, but has been consistently in the top 5 in pace alone. It's been really spotty. Running into bad luck. He had a DNF at Long Beach after finding his way into the barrier. This is well the 911 machine. Eric Richardson, or excuse me, Bill Molefield, finding his way into the mix as these guys are really getting things out. Derek Booker already has gotten very sick. Miller trying to run the highline. They'll make contact, and somehow that doesn't end with either of them going into the barrier, but man, that was sketchy. Oh, and now Miller goes around. He straightens it out. How on earth is Ian Miller still in one piece? Looking like Michael Deitch was the one that had to pay for that contact. As he's now missing a piece of that front wing and falls back to P7. Now it's Booker's turn to try and challenge for the lead from Barker. Indy native looking for a way around here. He's not been able. Nobody has. Bill Molefield provisionally on the podium. In my time on the mic now, year and a half, we have not seen the 911 on the podium, whether it's Wednesday Night Dash or the IRWS. Could this be the night that potentially changes? Barker's still trying to the high line. Richardson was talking in preseason practice, or pre-session practice, I should say, about just how sketchy it is running all the way up a la Kyle Larson, if you will. The high line has the grip. Take a little bit more rubber laid down and a little bit more of a run. But nobody has been far enough behind to really set up a run. Let's look at this around the outside. The minute I say that, Derek Booker becomes your second leader of the evening. Miller might need to get that 48 check for damage as well, as he now tries to go to the inside. Bill Molefield thought about slipping field, hasn't done it yet. Now side by side with Kruger, Molefield alongside Barker. So now we start to get that high line set up once again. We got Eric Richardson just behind. Who again was talking about how sketchy it is to really run up near the wall. No one's really made it 3 wide yet, made that necessary. Is he can pick and choose wherever he wants right now. He's just spectating this ball out in front. Molefield still trying the high line, not able to get there. Kruger now trying to do the same. I think you gotta also consider Jacob here in this scenario. How much was it really worth fighting? You're still in conversation to fight for P1. You're really hurting yourself more than helping, because everybody behind you is getting way better fuel mileage. There might have been a little bit of a liftoff on the apron to give the option maybe to get a little bit more savings here. as that high line is starting to come to life. Molefield fully with the nose ahead of Barker. Now lifting off once again. And Ian Miller just behind has rejoined the chat. Miller again, your Long Beach winner. 4 podiums so far this season. He's your championship leader coming into the penultimate round, or excuse me, coming into round 7 at 223 points. First real gap we've seen so far this season. Second in points right now, DJ Fluck is P9. Jacob Barker at 186. Eric Booker at 182. Michael Deich at 176. Eric Mattingly really wanted to send it into turn 1 there. And thought way smarter of it. And backed out. You look at how this season has played out so far. And for so many of these guys, it's been survival of the fittest. Because we've got a lot of guys who are genuinely really fast. The issue is everyone has been so aggressive, especially on the ovals. Particularly in these super speedways. Not a lot of guys have kept their car in podium conditions. You're seeing that right now as Miller damn near drove Kruger into the outside wall there. David Kruger, only real standout livery here, that mustard yellow. Number 46 trying to work his way into podium positions. Oh, Bill Molefield, we are 2 by 2 all the way around. And Molefield seemed to have the run there into 3. But Booker still is able to fire off on exit in 4. He just has a little bit of something as we come to the front straight. You guys down low on that inside line, whether it's Barker or Eric Mattingly, they have been looking for ways to fire it up the inside. None of them have been able to do it just yet. Quarter of the way through here in Sin City. Booker and Barker have led 2 of them. Molefield's trying to become leader number 3. And now we're almost 3 wide. Miller really wants to rip the top. And he's just trying to find enough momentum. Doing a little bit of side draft. Doing the Helio Castroneves line. Nearly up into the wall. Molefield puts Miller. And Booker goes middle of the track. 1-2. Trying to make that Mach 5 as thick as humanly possible. Killed so much momentum, both for Molefield and for Miller. Miller now slotting in P3 in row 1. Up top. Molefield still trying to make it work. Kruger supporting it up top as well. Everyone in this mix, but what has happened to Michael Deich? He's got damage. Bad luck again for the 89 in his second week of contact. He's trying to muscle through it though. Does he know he have damage? I'm not entirely sure. Hasn't come to the pit lane. But he's gonna try and Ironman this opening stint. I think that's so many of these guys knowing, one, how difficult it is to come back from being a lap or 2 down. Number 2, respectfully, how caution prone it's been on these super speedways. And if you're off on pace, as we now go 3 wide once again, if you're off on pace, yellow flag, immediate reset button. You're within the pack. And in these kind of pack racing tracks, you got a shot potentially. Good run from Miller, a little bit of contact, I think. As now we start to get more slicey and dicey. Miller driving Molefield up the racetrack. That opens the door for Barker to go down low. Of Kansas are we getting the gloves off too soon and putting too many race cars out of the mix? Eric's always been so smart in these kinds of moments. Just lifting and coasting, getting the mileage. Not too fond of the extra points of being out in front. And turning the dial up, aiming for that run for the podium once we get the 10-lap warning. Phenomenal job of holding this field back. You could argue that in and of itself that these 5 cars behind have turned up the aggression. Still trying, hugging those left Firestones against the white line to make a move possible. It's just not finding the way just yet. And at the 3rd waypoint, it is anyone's game. Laps through at Sim City, and we thank our sponsor, Showtime Esports Manager, a comprehensive platform designed to simplify and streamline the management of esport leagues and tournaments, from scheduling and registrations to standings, results, and automation. It replaces spreadsheets and manual processes with a centralized, easy-to-use system. Manage your first league tournament for free at ShowtimeEsports.com. Bill Molfield's line there coming off the back straightaway. You can see it's all the way up against that yellow outside wall to try and set up a move. As wide as possible. He doesn't have the draft. He at least wants to maximize the racing. Look at this. All the way up there. Just trying to arc it nice and wide, roll as much speed through 3 and 4 as humanly possible. And is doing so, now has the nose fully ahead of Ian Miller again. NASCAR style driving from the 911, and you know what? It's working. Eric Mattingly the first to pit lane, and the field has caught up to Matthew Faust. Will he let him cycle through, or maybe this gets to the point where he throws in the towel? Goes offline, which makes that, combined with the missing wing, even more of a tightrope block. Everyone manages to cycle through A-okay. Oh man, Barker really going down low there. And fast, trying to cover off from Eric Richardson. Now we start to see the first kind of breakaway thanks to that. Mofield and Booker. Now the 46 of Kruger finding his way onto the podium for the first time tonight. Still trying to make the most of that NASCAR-style side draft. Goes as close to him as possible on the front straight. We'll see if he continues to kind of swing it wide down the back straightaway. Yep, there he goes. Again, Booker knows how much Jacob Barker is trying to go, arguably over the apron maybe, to take the lead. That's why he's going immediately to the white line there the minute he gets out of 2. On the gearbox of Derek Booker. You can constantly see Jake there. Chrome red and white. Number 2 trying to find a way through. Down low on entry. Here he goes again. And Booker has done such a good job of just making that just wide enough for him to think about it, but not wide enough for him to actually do it. And that kills a lot of momentum on entry as well to kind of switch those lanes. It's definitely not doing any favors to his Firestones. Nobody has been able to make a move on Booker here for the past 32 laps. And now the question is, if we can't do it on track, is it possible for us to get it done off track? Fuel window expected to open in 3, now 2 laps. And that could really see a shuffle here, depending on the blend, and of course depending on the pit entry. These guys going speeds well north of 210 miles an hour. We've seen the struggles at Texas, at Indy, at Pocono, at Michigan. We'll see it in a couple weeks. It is difficult to get these IR-18s stopped out of hyperspace. Good execution on pit row. Be the difference maker if you can't get it done on track. We'll have to wait and see, and then just as crucially, when you win. Is the overcut potentially going to be the way to go? Do you stay out? Do you roll the dice? Early pit stop. Definitely risky, considering the time it could take on pit row. And a yellow flag looming. Here we go. Bill Molefield going to be the first to go in. We'll get a shot at just how difficult it is to throw the anchors in. Early entry, though, he goes beneath the white line there and fully gets it stopped. Now can accelerate to the limiter. And we do a top-down layout here, so we got to wait all the way until pit exit for Molefield to come in and hit his marks. A little bit of a lockup on entry. Not enough for the crew to adjust. Jacks will go up. Does he go for new tires? Ooh, doesn't look like it. Could be a splash and dash for Molefield. They've just now come out of pit lane. I'm just curious to see as Barker has taken the lead back from Derek Booker. And Faust actually making the move on Molefield. So yeah, handful of laps down. So that's why you're going to see a lot of guys go as long as humanly possible, because that is going to be an instant lap down if the safety car is to be deployed here. Risky stuff from the 911. It could pay off in leaps and bounds, depending on how this opening handful of laps pays off for the 911. He doesn't have a lot of friends, though. Just finds Eric Mattingly now in the 23. I got the feeling everybody's coming in right here around lap 51. Halfway home here in Sin City, Jacob Barker back to the point, and you've got Booker and now David Kruger into the mix as well. Are they both going? No, just Booker. Kruger, Richardson, and Gardner going to stay out as well. Oh, lockup from Kruger. Kruger went around the outside, did a late entry. He was coming in maybe a little bit too hot. So now we'll have to see. That could be a penalty coming the way of the 45. And now Barker coming in. That'll give Eric Richardson the lead for the time being, with Colton Gardner going long as well. Now Matthew Faust going even longer. Now he'll come to pit row. Jacob Barker into his stall. No push is needed, but a little bit off the marks. You can see he's not dead center. Now the question, what is this going to look like with the blend with Booker? Barker just now coming out of turn number 2. Watch to see if that Mach 5 comes into view. I don't think it does. Now you got Kruger and the Mach 5 below him. You've still got a couple guys that really need to get up to full song, though. I think that's it. I think that's Jacob Barker comfortably to the lead here. Lap 55, everybody in. And there it is. Jacob Barker comfortably up into the lead. With almost a double-digit gap over Booker and Kruger. There they are on track. Now for these guys, the mission is clear. They have to work together if they want any hope of closing the gap to the leader and getting to the lead. Gardner now coming in from the lead. He went very long, all the way to 55. But he'll actually maybe reap the most benefits there. Just over 40 laps to go here in Vegas, and now it becomes the sprint race. For Booker and David Kruger, it's just going to be all about working together, raiding leads in this little duo, try and roll as much speed as humanly possible, close that 3-second gap. Barker, you just got to drive it like a road course. Keep it wide, keep it smooth. Don't you dare scrub those Firestones. And pay no attention to the small yellow and white blobs in your rearview mirror that are growing bigger and bigger. Well, Gardner a big mover as a result of that, up 3 positions. Pit stop Eric Richardson up a handful as well. Bill Molefield, the undercut, don't think went the way he really planned to. He's now found that 3-pack as well. Gardner now going to the inside. Stay with this battle now as a Eric Mattingly, who was in the podium spots in the opening laps, has dropped back 7. And further back, DJ Fluck currently second in the points. Not able to find any of these packs for the time being. 2.2, now the gap. Booker going all the way down to the apron to try and defend. Very interesting line from the Mach 5. I think it's trying to keep it as straight as possible, maybe to the turn-in into 1. Very interesting. If he does it again this time by. And it's hard to see right now as he keeps it wide now for lap 60. Hard to tell right now, but everybody is closing in on one another. These are gaps to your leader overall, I think, right now. Being on the right-hand side of the screen, it is. Intervals. 1.6 right now between the back of this little duo. What we saw with Gardner, Molefield, Mattingly, and Richardson. More likely than not, this entire field's going to accordion back together. By the time we get to lap 80, this could very likely become another 7-8 car battle for the lead. From behind, Booker's got it. He's back to P1. that Booker was not able to do at all tonight, because if you give yourself that gap, you're leaving yourself exposed. Whether it's guys on the high line to move on down or the guys on your gearbox trying to take that position from you. But Booker was closing. He was working with David Kruger. And he had a monster run to get it done. Lap number 66 here from Las Vegas. The IRWS is also brought to you by Fix Coffee Brand. If you're looking for your next coffee fix, you gotta check out Fix Coffee. Fresh, bold flavor, and you get to grind your own beans for that perfect cup every time. Use code Eric Richardson, Eric with a K, at checkout and save 15% on your next. 2/3 through here, and it has been the tail of QB's Booker v. Barker. Hey, that one comes fast. David Kruger, though, waiting in the wings. And we talked about the accordion effect. I predicted lap 80. It might be lap 70, because you're already starting to see Colton Gardner and company work their way into the mix. He's side by side with Molefield right now for P4. Molefield's got the nose ahead. Still running it up top. And not slotting it in. We saw a monster run from Booker to take the lead from Barker. Could we see the same here from Molefield on David Kruger to the high line? Into turn number 1. Doors open now. For Colt to go low. Can't make it work just yet. Booker trying to bring them all to the white line. 30 laps to go. Molefield, the only guy running the high line. He's been confident. He's been given the option to slot in. He's liking that fresh, clean air. Going to the front wing. He likes it up top. Booker mini-tail the dragon right now, trying to hold all of these guys off. It is working. Barker trying to get revenge the exact same way he did 30 laps ago. Late move, down low, over the white line. Booker once again exactly where he wants to be. He showed his prowess on defense in the opening laps of this race. Right before the pit stop. It took pit cycles for Barker to get to the front. He's got to do it on track now for a win in Vegas. Faust. He's now 2 laps down. Back with DJ Fluck. Something is just snaking Ian on the ovals. Look at this. Door was open. Jacob Barker back to the race lead. Oh, contact! The 5 and the 2 collide on the back straightaway. Could this battle for the lead potentially reach the same point that we got to Phoenix? Booker down to 3rd now. It's David Kruger's turn to maybe challenge for the lead. 20-lap warning coming up. That was the first major move. You could see how badly Booker wanted to take that position back. Gardner and Richardson just coexisting further back there. P4 and P5, they're side by side. Getting the draft from the 2 guys in front of them. Just waiting a little bit longer to really turn the wick up. Close that gap. Some issue for Ian Miller. Turns this now into a 5-car race for the lead. Booker around the outside, getting back into P number 2. Will just slot in front of Kruger. Kruger getting very loose though. Might have been a little bit of contact. Now Booker getting a taste of his own medicine, being forced by Barker to go the long way around. How does Jacob Barker defend from the Mach 5? Now just behind, looks like the camaraderie maybe has ended between Gardner and Richardson. As now Richardson has decided it's my turn maybe to join the fray. He gets that Jiffy Lube 40 up to the high line. Now he tries to maybe make some moves here to get on the podium in his low start of the season. Oh, look at this. Gardner almost making it 3 wide. Oh, Kruger down low, nearly getting into Booker. Booker knew he was down there and opened it up a little bit on exit. And then he nearly went into the wall as a result. Still a little bit of defensive driving. But in less than 5 laps, it is going to be all offense. Kruger still in that prime position. Maybe to make that move stick. Booker still with all the spatial awareness in the world, keeping it razor tight. That's not a sentence, but keeping it as close as possible between himself and Davey. God, this is good. Back on the rear wing of the 2. You can just see how close it's been between Booker and Kruger here. Now Richardson taking P4 further back. CG. Contact again, a little bit of side pod to side pod rubbing between the 46 and the 5. Kruger back up into P2. What on earth happened there? Contact again. I think it was a little bit of the apron, and somehow Jacob Barker able to keep it out of the wall. That killed a lot of momentum for Kruger. Was 3 wide for a moment further back with Gardner and Richardson. Now Gardner down low. What a save. now at least. It will only be a matter of time before Gardner and company start to reel them in. With 10 laps to go, it's been these two out in front all night. They're going for the win here. Gardner further back looking for his first podium of the season. His limited schedule, Eric Richardson looking for podium number 3. Kruger looking for number 2. 9 laps to go. More contact. Booker to Booker. Barker's been comfortable with the high line. He's been forced to do it once again here from Barker. And we know how risky it is. He's been so redundant to doing it. Because just like we're seeing right now, it gives the door open for Gardner or anyone to try and challenge for it. It could require a late lunge down low into 1 or 3 to take this lead away from Barker. Barker, who has had so much bad luck, whether it's been in the open wheelers, in IRWS, or earlier this year. NASCAR trucks coming back tomorrow. He's trying to carry as much momentum into the new Wednesday Night Dash Series as humanly possible. And crucially, Jacob Barker looking for his first victory since Homestead in March. And now it's Colton Gardner's time to shine. Around the outside for P2. And with 5 laps to go, he's got just enough time to try and set up a run to snatch this lead away. Richardson trying to go with him on the low line. Booker doesn't want that to happen. All of these guys battling for P2 on back for these bottom steps of the podium. Giving Barker for the first time in a while a little bit of breathing room. Mattingly and Faust going at it further back for 7th and 8th. Gardner swinging it wide. 3 wide coming out of turn number 4. Richardson all the way to the high line. They fan out again. Booker provisional in P3. None of these guys able to close this gap to Jacob Barker. Back in P3, Speed Racer in movie theaters in IMAX for the first time in 15 years. Last night, has that given some kind of magic to the Mach 5? He's on the apron. He's looking to the inside. He's made contact with Gardner. He backs out of it. It might just be the 40 who can be the only one to do it. But Booker wants the points. He could still be the backstabber in this duel for the lead. White flag out next time by. And already it is going to take a monster run, and Booker could kill it. Forces him to the white line. Booker trying to make it stick around the outside. Fully clear. Does he shut the door on him? Yes! Booker up into P1, or excuse me, P2. And needs a monster run to try and make this move happen. But Jacob Barker out in front. When he is cold, it has been cold. But the number 2 has been red and white hot all night long. Here in Las Vegas, he'll take the checkered flag in Sin City, and the big one finally happens behind him. Booker, Colton Gardner collected. Eric Richardson, David Kruger get their way onto the podium at the buzzer. And in what is maybe the biggest story and biggest accomplishment of the night, we go flag to flag in IRWS for the first time in I don't freaking know how long. But for Jacob Barker, it is win number 2. He'll set it on fire in Sin City. I didn't even know you could do these kind of like long Aussie style burnouts in the IndyCars. That's sick. Why does nobody do those? We got to do those. We'll step aside for a moment from Vegas. Your interview is coming up shortly. What up, Pookster? Give me a second. I gotta drag Eric in here as well. I don't think David has a Discord, does he? Never see him. Hi, Eric. Bro, they just wanted... Derek wanted P2 so freaking bad. And that just let Jake be like home free final 3 laps. Now you're on the podium. Do you know if David has a Discord? Okay. I just tried adding him and not here. Don't think. I got my properties. Okay, perfect. All right, we'll do Eric and then Jacob, and then we'll wrap it up.
Cool.
Got 2 of your 3 here for your podium. After 100 laps here in Vegas, we'll get started with your P2 driver, Eric Richardson, getting number 2, I want to say, of the season. One that we didn't necessarily expect there, but walk me through those final few laps behind the 13.
Oh man, my heart rate was going. It was hard to even keep the foot down. I was shaking enough.
I don't know if there was any, I don't want to say collaboration with any of the drivers further back, but you've had this knack of not necessarily getting in the mosh pit until it's the right time. Is that something that you intend to do?
You know, I kind of take what it gives. I'm not going to necessarily fight for the position up front. If it's there, I'll take it and just move forward accordingly. But if I can just keep it clean and just stay out of trouble, that's the goal until that last like 20 laps.
Who do you want to thank for this podium?
You know, as always, just everybody that comes out and tunes in. It's everybody doing that makes this all worth it and makes it fun. So appreciate everybody.
We appreciate you, Eric. We'll move on to your race winner, getting their second win of the season, Jacob Barker. It was not easy to get a move done here for the lead, but you managed to make it stick. Talk to me about how you made it.
Yeah. I mean, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I feel like this is what should have happened in Kansas, but we take what we can get. What happened, what I thought was going to happen was going to be a move off of turn 4 like we see so often in the Indy cars or even the stock cars on these mile-and-a-half tracks, and that did not happen at all. The outside line was there, but it was not enough to get the lead. So it was definitely a challenge. I knew what my move was once I followed Booker enough because he was leaving the inside to turn 1 every lap, and I made it work. before the first sequence of pit stops that got us the lead. My hope was that we were going to get just enough or save enough to cycle out, which we did. But we didn't save enough that I wanted to save to where we could push all the way to the end with no worries. So that brought back Booker and somebody else back to me. And then had to save a little bit. And then I knew if I got to the inside of Booker going into turn one, again, I was going to be the leader. And they were not going to get past me, no matter how hard they tried, which they Booker put up a good fight. Credit to him. He's a heck of a wheelman in the IndyCars. But this win was not going to be taken away from me. This really, really helps our championship chances, and we'll see what happens on the road in St. Petersburg.
Anyone you want to thank here for win number 2?
Yeah, obviously SMR and BRR for the opportunities, Moza, W Energy Formula, Turtle Headsets, for any friends and family that are tuning in. And my mom, obviously, always, like I said last time, she doesn't quite understand what we do as sim racers, but she enjoys watching me on stream and whatnot. So, like I said, we'll take it and hope to have a good run in St. Petersburg.
Last thing from the announcer, I think I got to give everybody in the field a cookie tonight because I get to go home early. And we went flag to flag, and that was a super clean race, and that was a dang good fun race to watch. So cheers for both of you boys, but thank you for sticking around. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, brother.
Alrighty, that'll be all she wrote here. One more final look at your results following 100 laps here in Sin City. Jacob Barker, again, your winner. Eric Richardson, David Kruger getting his first podium of the season. Gardner and Booker did actually wreck over the line, but able to still finish in 4th and 5th. DJ Fluck, Matty Faust, Eric Mattingly, Ian Miller, and Michael Deitch rounding out your field. That's it. Wednesday Night Dash coming back tomorrow. I unfortunately am not going to be able to be there, but following that, we'll be back for our final road course of the IRWS season, and we take it to the streets. St. Petersburg, Florida. New track for us, new track for me. Should be a good show. We hope we'll see you there. And for everybody, as always, we thank you for watching for this unique scenario here for coming out. Hopefully the only time we'll have to do this. But we hope you join us again, as always, at 7 p.m. Pacific, live for our final road course. For everybody at FR Racing Stadium Scene TV, I'm Jackson Lambros. We'll see you next time.